These are paddle outs. So with paddle outs, we are trying to mimic the paddle motion we make on a surfboard with using either a cable machine or resistance bands. What I've done here is you set the resistance to the highest level you can, or take a resistance band, wrap it up a really high object, and then you're going to squeeze your shoulder blades back and down, always keeping that good shoulder form, super important throughout this whole motion. Those shoulders are going to remain back and down. And then notice I've got my feet squared off, hip width parallel. I'm squatting down with a good squat form, and I'm keeping my back straight as I do so. That allows me to put my body into a position so that the resistance starts with my arms up in line with my ears, so I can get that full range strength in there. So make sure, because if I were to start standing up here, notice the resistance doesn't even start till shoulder height. And who's battling that? All right, so you squat down so that the resistance begins with your arms up in line with your ears. You're not actually closing in your ears. Still keep that space there. They're just in line with your ears there. So squatting down, spine straight, tilting forward, shoulders engaged back and down. And I'm going to tilt forward far enough until I get my arms in line with my ears. And then I pull one arm straight down, and then I bring that elbow up nice and high as I bring the handle back to its starting position as the other arm pulls down. So they are alternating which arm is pulling down and which arm is coming up. But like a good swimming motion, I'm taking that elbow up nice and high. I'm trying to mimic paddling through the water here. You can do this for time, or you can count reps, whichever you're going for. Plan it out. And you can do one of two different things here. You can go with a lighter resistance to go for more reps or more time and going for more endurance. Or you can go for a heavier resistance, which is going to shorten your time there. But what a heavier resistance will mimic is a faster paddle. So notice with a cable machine, we can only go so fast, because if we go too fast, we can end up bouncing the plates on the cables here, and then either the cable can get off track or you can just jam the system. So we don't want to do that to the machine, but we might want to add more resistance, because when we're paddling through water, the faster you paddle, the more the water is resisting you. So the more strength you need to be able to paddle that fast. And we can mimic that by just adding more resistance to the cable machine. And the paddle might be a little bit slower. But you can still get a pretty good speed on these machines. With your resistance bands, you can go probably about as fast as you want. Those rubber resistance bands can really go to town. But shoulders back and down, the more you do these, it's going to try to challenge what your shoulder form's doing. Keep that in check. You're in the gym, you're training. Keep your form in check so it's easier to hold when you're out in the water. This here are your paddle outs. You.